Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about a trend that is starting here in New York City. So it's not an old, or it's not a new trend, sorry. It's not something that comes out of the blue. We've seen this in other states like California and Florida. But now here in New York City, they're starting this new dangerous trend of staging a car accident, right? So we've seen this before. Again, I think we've even seen this in New York City a couple of times, but there is a crew, or two guys rather, who are hitting cars or bumping into them or lightly tapping them and having the drivers come out to inspect the damage, which we all know there's barely any damage when you tap a car, and the drivers are getting out and they're getting carjacked. And then they're getting their monies, their wallet, their money, and their phone stolen as well, as long as with their car, sorry. So, being that this is not anything new, but this is a trend that's on the rise, this is something to look out for. Because, again, guys, the criminals now are working on the helpfulness or the bleeding heart side for those of us that like to help, including myself. So these people are going to go out of their way now to tap into that, right? So they'll stage an accident, they'll probably stage an injury next, and they'll sit there and wait till you attend to this person or wait to inspect the damage of your car, whatever it is, and then they jump out and mug you. All right, now, here in New York, the duo, if you will, staged this 4 times. They rolled up behind somebody, they lightly tapped their car, the guy gets out, and then in 2 cases they beat up the drivers, and I think in 1 case the driver just threw his hands up and stepped away, and that's probably the easiest one for them. What's mind-boggling is the years of the cars. The cars are like 2013, 15, and 2017, and 2017 cars. 2 were Fords, 1 was a Mercedes, or 2 were Mercedes, 2 were Fords. So I find that jacking of those cars extremely weird, being that they weren't anything new. They weren't 2021s or 2020s or 2022s. They were older cars. So that leads me to believe that these kids are either practicing for the bigger gold, or they just wanted these cars to joyride in, which I saw in an article, I'm not sure where the carjackers jacked the driver for his car and took his car around for joyride. Now, when you jack a car that old, I don't know if there's any value in it, being that, you know, they're older cars, especially in the car theft world. I don't know. But older cars, even on the used car lots, have gone up in price. And maybe that's one and the same. I don't know if that's what they're thinking. But nonetheless, this is something for you to be aware of. Now, if somebody bumps your car in any city, that doesn't matter whether it's New York or California, if your car gets bumped, lock your doors and see what they do next. And then see how they come out the cars. If both of them come out of the cars, I'm going to assume that something's up. Normally, the driver just gets out to check, especially if it's a tap. But both guys getting out, that's a red flag. At least for me, it is. I've seen it done before. I've seen 2 guys get out of the car on a car accident. I was like, what the fuck is this? And nothing happened, but nonetheless, I thought it was weird. So this is something, just a heads up for you guys to pay attention to. Now, there was an attempted push and robbery. I don't know what state it was in, but some of you saw this video where the couple comes up to the house and talks to the homeowner. They tell the homeowner, our car broke down, our phones are dead, and the homeowner is like, okay, do you have a phone inside? The homeowner's like, yes. Now, I couldn't hear quite what the homeowner was saying. I'm not sure if he was going to call for them, but the homeowner made it sound like he wasn't letting him into the house. With that, the boyfriend tries to rush the door, but the homeowner, unbeknownst to them, had a gun on him. And anytime, guys, you're checking your door to see who's at your front door at any time of day, but mostly at night and especially after midnight, you should absolutely go to the door armed. With that, the boyfriend tries to rush the door or push the door in. The homeowner let him have it. Now, I don't know if he hit them, but he did fire a couple shots through the door, or at them. I'm not sure if the door was closed at that point, but they went scurrying off into the night. So we are going to see more of these kind of things. Now, pushing robberies, a couple of you heard me talk about it in my NYC crime update, that pushing robberies were on the rise. They are on the rise, but not as frequently, but I assume we're going to start seeing more of these down the line. Now, wherever that happened, again, that wasn't in New York City or New York for that matter, but it was in another state. We shall start seeing more people play on the hearts of others by staging certain things. Broken down car, injury, or a bullshit car accident. With this, though, the car incident, if you will, in one of the videos I watched, they bumped the car from behind. The car had an easy exit out. He could have just ran the red light, which, if you're going to run the red light, in that case, you have to be super careful you don't run anybody over. But he had an out. In some cases, you might not have an out. So you have to keep that in mind. Someone bumps your car from behind, wait till the traffic clears up in front of you so that you can pull over or give yourself an exit out. And then when they jump out, if you think that is something weird, just keep driving till you see a cop. Keep driving to the front of a police station. If they pull off, then they were going to do some shit. Now, if you have good eyesight and you're driving away from them or telling you to follow you down a block or whatever it is, get the license plate of the car while you're at it, if you can. But definitely take down the description of the car itself, right? So if the car's white, gray, red, a sedan, SUV, Jeep, whatever it is, write all of that down. So, guys, again, this is just something to be aware of. We're probably going to see way more of this. Now, in the city, especially a city like New York, I thought that would have been a little harder to get away with, considering there are cops almost everywhere. In California, when they were doing it something slightly different. They were honking the car, honking the horn of the car behind you, and you'd be like, what? And then they honk it again until you got out of your car, and then it was on. Or reverse that, they would pull up in front of you, or stop in front of you. You pull up behind them, you will honk the car, your horn, and then they would jump out and jack you. So it was either or. I heard more cases, more than not, where they were blocking you and you would honk them, then they would jump out. But I did hear once or twice it was the reverse. They would honk you and piss you off, and then when you jumped out, they jumped out of the car to be, to jack your shit. So you got to be careful of all of that now, right? The car honking thing, that's an old thing, but that was happening in California a few years back. This new shit of tapping your car, and I've heard it in other places like Chicago once or twice. It wasn't a big thing. Here in New York, it's only 4 times. So hopefully it's not a trend that catches on with other groups. Hopefully it's just these two knuckleheads doing it. But if it does catch on, be very aware of somebody tapping these shit. Now, some of you heard about my carjacking story a while back, or my possible carjacking story. Now the more I think about that night, the more I'm like, yeah, they were trying to jack me for my shit. Now I have a newer truck. I have a 2022. There's more probability of me being carjacked in a car that new, but I never would have thought in a million years they would have went after a 2017 or 2013 car. Those are fairly old cars. 2017 maybe, but 2013, that's like dinosaurs. That's dog years in cars, right? It's fucking super old. So, again, guys, something to consider. Just keep your head on a swivel. Notice your surrounding. Notice your area, especially if you get tagged from behind. Notice the temperament and the behavior of the guys in the car. What are they doing? How they're acting, and how aggressive or not aggressive they're behaving, right? If they keep looking behind them for some reason, they're looking for the cops. If they get out of the car super fucking aggressive over a tap, they're looking to get your shit. Normally when people tap each other's cars, it's like, oh man, you okay? You okay? And then that's it. So there's something to be said about the temperament of people and the behavior of people when they're in this. You have to take note of that as well. All right, guys, other than that, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.